Web3 nomads. Everywhere jobs for anywhere people.
Okay, live. Gents, how are we doing? Are we all green? Happy markets. But for how long?
We are green. And we are still fully in stables. So the great thing is they have not depegged. So I'm really happy about that.
At least you are
back holding the USDC.
Yeah, man. USDC to $2 soon. I promise you that.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's really nice to see the strength that we've been seeing essentially for the last 2 weeks. It's been. I'm loving it. It's lovely to see like a monster green candle on BTC, even if it is only like 4% or 5%. It's still awesome to see, and lovely to see like the alts kind of like dragging behind it, because there's going to come a time when the alts just go completely ballistic if it maintains that momentum. Really enjoying it. I was expecting a bounce back down at 17.5. But the market really likes to prove me wrong. So when I say something, just do the opposite and you guys will be just fine.
I told you.
But you know what they're doing?
I told you I was getting bored a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, so it's you. So basically, like, when you go on holiday, the market gets absolutely wrecked. But when you're bored as shit, it pumps. So are you actually a market maker secretly? You and your cronies over in Bali, like a bunch of little market makers?
I'm the third arrow. That's what it is.
Oh,
No,
boys, going for some beers tonight. Let's go.
I just thought like if I'm feeling bored, I'm pretty sure a few other people are. That's some really in-depth technical and fundamental analysis right there. That's very actionable.
What alts are you guys liking at the moment?
Do you want to go down?
Well, I guess I guess the ones you can say is like Sam coins. Sam coins have been absolutely flying. So Solana absolutely flying. Aptos, if anybody remembers that one, absolutely flying. Like I'm sure, like I haven't looked at it, but if Serum is still around, maybe that's done something. But yeah, it's been great to see.
Serum's been forked to, I think it's called like OpenDex or something now, or something like that. Because they were worried about the security issue of Alameda and Sam being on or having some kind of back access or whatever it was. So they forked it effectively, but that should be, I don't know if it's up and running or not, but I bought Sol about $12. Usually you can just counter trade CT sentiment and do pretty well because everyone's kind of lost their mind at the minute. So counter trading the regular sentiment usually.
Oh yes. And have you noticed on like Twitter, like CT sentiment's gone really strange because it's like heavily bullish, heavily bearish, but then everybody's like threading about everything, like 9 ways to make it, or it's very strange because it's like a lot of like now, I don't know if it's because of like NFT God, but like everybody's become some kind of like motivational guru. And now I'm from like a massive fitness background, so that was like your everyday shit posting on Instagram as a fitness pro. So to see that now in Twitter, it's like on crypto Twitter, sorry, it is so funny and so bizarre.
Yeah,
what's so interesting? I really like this NFT God. He does put out some good content. But if that was back in like normie Twitter of like fitness Twitter or fitness Instagram, mate, it wouldn't have got an eyeball. And I was chatting to one of the lads the other day. I was like, yeah, he's been really smart. He's just taken like a normie thing, applied it to all these crypto degens who are absolutely creased inside because their portfolios are still down by at least 97%.
Yeah. So I think
I can't get away with it. I just can't get away with it.
But Grant, you put out an exceptional. But you put out an exceptional thread on what it is that you've got your eye on 2023. So you're a part of the thread or crew, my friend. You can't hide from that. I mean, that's
but it's like the motivational threads.
Yeah, it's motivational. Telling people I'm getting in an ice bath 25 times a day and going for like a 25-mile run, doing a meditation for 25 hours a day and all that kind of shit. It's just a bit like. Feels like
But
Instagram and
isn't that your
LinkedIn
next thread that's coming out? Surely you're going to tell us about that.
Yeah,
mate, you are definitely 4 days into keto. You are grumpy as shit this morning.
Yeah, exactly. I'm basically just morphing into one of them. Like it's contagious through Twitter.
Oh my god! And then we're gonna see Jedi like throwing up some kind of like feta cheese salad soon as well. Like mamma mia! And I know it's Italian. I can't do like a Greek accent, but you know what I'm saying. With feta cheese.
Life
You know
coach,
what?
mate.
You know what needs to happen. You guys need to come over for some roast lamb and some good red wine, and then the deal will be sealed. There we go.
Mate, I'm coming. In April, I'm going to do a quick pit stop to you, quick pit stop to Grant, and then I'm going to see the other one who's over in one of my favorite countries in the world, Thailand. I've got a lot of friends there.
We all know why you like Thailand, and it's fine. And this is not really the platform to tell people about.
Sorry. We're talking about crypto. Yeah, we're talking about crypto. Sorry.
So Solana's looking good. I mean, just onto crypto. Solana's actually looking really good. It's doing what should look good. It's doing it. It's climbing the staircase back up. That's what it's doing.
Look at that monster candle down, mate. If that breaks, that is going to absolutely rip because the amount of liquidity that's going to be chilling up there. Whew, mate, bears are going to get wrecked, bruv. Absolutely wrecked.
So what I was saying, I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but effectively token supply has increased by around 33%. So it'd be the other way around, wouldn't it? So no, it wouldn't be that way. Ignore me. I'm doing public math.
Public math is always like the pathway to freaking Hades. It's just always fails.
So
that's the correct way of doing it.
Yeah. So roughly like ballpark figures. If with the supply increase, the price, if the market cap got back to the same market cap all-time high, price would effectively be at $171. So still at 1685. Again, some really in-depth fundamental analysis here was that's a 10x. Obviously, it's going to take a while to do that, but I'm happy to take that risk reward.
There's no reason why it shouldn't do that in light of the fact that you have a serious amount of dev work going on there. It's been recognized to be the case with Vitalik giving his kind of blessing, like the pontiff himself giving the blessing. I don't see Solana not doing really well into the future. I mean, obviously we had a great interview with Ansem the other day, and he's also super bullish on the space. So that's coming. That stream is coming out. I think we'll release that on Monday, and he shares our sentiment. Like Solana's got things happening. It's not like if you look at something like Carbongo where there's like all this hype but what's actually going on there? Not much that we can see. I mean, the disciples tell you that there's a whole lot going on, and they're sending spaceships to Pluto and the rest of it, but we're not getting any photographs or any proof of it. So at this point in time, it's kind of like Solana's got all of that. They've got everything.
It's not even on your watch list.
But he's got a bag.
No, but what's important about shit like this, even if you don't like it because it's absolutely terrible, is
this is a good space to buy.
These kind of projects that everyone knows are dog shit but have a cult-like following are very early indicators of kind of fresh retail meat coming back into the market, which is always a good sign, I think, for us personally. So anything like this, XRP, and a few others, Doge and things like that. But stuff like this are just early indicators of kind of retail picking up interest again. So if you don't like it, that's fine. But
I had a really good trade at the beginning of 2020 with Carbongo. I think it was at 25 cents. and I sold it just over $1.25 to $1.30. It actually did really well. One of the coins that I'm watching is this one. I think with LSD narrative, and I think also the fundamentals of it. I think this thing is gonna I think this thing could easily 10x in quite a short space of time, in my opinion. LDO is 100% one of the big boys that we all know about, but are too scared to put our money down. But it's going to do really well.
Yeah, we are now anyway. You see a lot of if you use a Telegram group like Uni Whales, you see a lot of like the big whales like flipping 200-300 ETH in and out of LDO, and it's mental to see just to watch them. I can't remember which I think it was. I want to say Coinbase, but I could be wrong. I did it in one of the reports. But there's one of the VCs that's heavily bullish on it. That LDO and I think it was Rocket Pool. They will be the two biggest winners out of this whole LSD staking narrative. And then things like I think it was Aurora and then Curve, because they're going to be some of the big like liquidity providers throughout it all. That these will be the winners. I mean, look at Rocket Pool. That's literally rocket.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the daily and you look at the number of candles that are there, there's our 2 weeks. That's the last 2 weeks. Well, the last 4 weeks of what it is. Yeah, I mean, this is the market right here in this freaking chart. This chart is the market right now. I mean, that is sexy as fuck.
That's the six of us.
Rocket Pool up like where are we at? Go on the daily. So from like local bottom 9th of November, like
that's
2
almost
months
a
ago.
2x. That's a 2x.
Yeah. If you were buying 13, 14s, looks like you had pretty long period of time to actually pick up in the like mid-teens as well. So now that's 2x. LDO, don't know what that got down to actually. This is Uniswap data, so need to check that. So that's nearly 2x as well. So you're getting like similar sort of liquidity flowing into both, and then I suppose stake wise as well. I'm pretty sure that's more than 2x up off the bottom. So that's just your higher beta play on the whole thing, in my opinion.
What's Jones doing, by the way?
Jones,
completely off topic. Jones.
They're so. They provide kind of option strategies for DopeX vaults. So if you're not kind of savvy enough to be able to pick your own calls, puts, strikes, assets, and things like that, they'll just provide a really simple strategy and then a vault to be able to do it and give you the maximum yield they can extract. So
bring
that's
up the chart, please, Grant.
Yeah, you can bring up the chart because I was seeing movement in it yesterday.
Bottom there, at the bottom, yeah.
There you go. A couple of wallets.
It's cooking, dude. Yeah, it's cooking.
Yeah, there you go.
It's fucking flying, isn't it?
Yeah, dude. It's checked. All these DeFi charts are starting to come on. And if Big Daddy can behave, we really are going to see like a proper freaking rally here.
See, Plutus could be a good player, I think, despite it not performing as well. I do think their inflation is quite high. Like if you just look at 3 million market cap, 28 million FDV, so it's a lot of token supply to come on the market. But I do think they'll probably get like a couple of days worth of rallying. I don't know what price point that'll look like. Given everything else, it looks like everything else has went 2x, so you probably see the similar sort of liquidity flow into it. But they are teaming up with the DopeX guys, and then they're releasing orbital decks. So that could be something to keep an eye on at 3 million. I know the FTV is high. I'd have to have a look at how aggressive the inflation schedule is, because if it's like over 10 years or whatever, then it's okay. But I'd expect some kind of short to medium term kind of swing trade to happen there as soon as more info gets released from Orbital. So, but yeah, everything on option looks like from November, December local lows of 2x. Like, what's Fold doing? I don't think this has performed as well. No, but that like decent gap there to fill, to be honest, and it's a bit of a obscure Shanghai Fork play as well with MEV. But I just went full circle and got some more butterfly again this morning. Because this is one of the best liquid staking players.
How's
the
their
market thinks-
stablecoin gonna come into this?
So you could. So the way it's going to work, I suppose the easiest example to compare it to is like Maker and DAI. So people can deposit, say, $1,000 worth of Ethereum and borrow $800 worth of DAI, and that's obviously static. So you're not actually earning any interest on. I think you do earn a little bit of interest on the deposit, or is it the other way around? Anyway, but what Dinero, from what I can read between the lines, is going to be is all these liquid staking derivatives where you can stake with Lido and get staked ETH, or if you stake a Rockpool and get RETH or whatever they call it, or maybe even Stakewise ETH or Frax ETH. So all these liquid staking derivatives that are ERC20 tokens that are earning yield from securing the network on Ethereum, then you could go and effectively deposit that in, borrow Dinero against it, and all the while your actual liquid staking deposit is actually earning interest. So
Interesting.
it's, I mean, Abracadabra definitely did it with staked ETH, but I think the beauty here is through Redacted and Hidden Hand and their like war chest of Curve and Convex governance tokens, they'll be able to really get some great depth of liquidity across multiple chains, I think, with Dinero. So I think it's a good one. I think it's a really interesting player as well.
We'll need to get Sammy and Magnus on to like really explain it, like give like a pretty.
They're going to come on. Magnus messaged the other day. He said, I try to get the white paper out of him, but he's having none of it.
Oh, the booger.
He said, I'll get kneecapped if I give it to anyone. So I said, oh, well. We'll just go through it on stream. But yeah, they're keen to come on.
Yeah, awesome.
What else is pumping? Is there any? I seen
GMX.
DXP.
Bring up GMX for me, please. Can I just check GMX quickly? I haven't looked at it in a while.
Well, I can tell we've not looked at charts for ages, man.
Yeah, I know. I look at like some of the fucking lines. 46, not bad, but look at the fees it's been printing.
1.8 million the other day, wasn't it?
30-day revenue, 3 million. Yeah, because you know, these fees inadvertently explain the saltiness of everyone on Twitter, because a lot of these will have been blown out shorts from liquidations, and everyone's angry about the pump. I don't get it. Just fucking enjoy it. So these fees inadvertently explain the sentiment on Twitter. Everyone. But if you do bring up the cringy Wall Street cheat sheet, you could say that we're in disbelief.
I think we are.
Dude, I am going to use this stream as my confessional. Father, I have sinned because I am so sidelined. It's not even funny right now.
Oh mate, I'm totally sidelined. It's great. Mate, my
my
portfolio fluctuates by a tenner every single day.
Arbitrage opportunity that. What else is going on? So I seen DXP, which is from what I understand, a fork of GMX. I mean, that thing's just been fucking up and to the right, isn't it?
Jesus Christ.
Isn't this Vela?
Yeah, Vela. They're going to be trading over. But that's. I think I had some at 60 cents, so I'm kind of kicking myself for selling now. But
I do think we should pull up like the Bitcoin or like Ethereum chart, because the fact that we are in such disbelief, the market is railing so freaking hard. Like you could kind of see it now, like ripping down a massive pullback before making a decision. Because you got to think today, bank earnings season kicks off, and I think if they're going to be printing like really bad numbers and like not the best projections, that would be the catalyst for a freaking wicked weekend dump. Because if you look at the USDT chart as well, I was having a look last night. First time I looked at charts in ages. That is just like it's ripped to the downside, which makes you think that profit taking is going to be had soon.
It's kind of
Well, if you look at the Bitcoin chart, just go back to the Bitcoin chart quickly. You'll see that there's essentially the diagonal resistance, and yeah, I mean you've got resistance on the diagonal, and I mean and on the horizontal. It's kind of like everything's pivoting on this point right now. If it punches through, dude, it's gonna frickin' march to 20 really quickly. It really is.
Yeah, agreed.
I'd like to see us just flip this.
Yes.
If we can start moving towards 24. Looks like the MAs look like they're going to head in that direction towards like that kind of resistance as well.
So I agree with Dan. I agree with Dan in terms of the weekend being pivotal to this whole thing. At the same time, based on the strength that we've seen, I'm actually in favor of this thing actually going through this major resistance that we're seeing right now. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's put it that way. We haven't seen strength like this in months, guys. Really, we haven't. And if there was going to be a moment or a time, it would be now, unless the bear market rally is really here to crush our dreams.
Yeah,
so,
sorry, go on.
Go on, Dan. No, go on.
I was going to say, like, I was watching Bloomberg, and it was like soft landing, soft landing, soft landing, soft landing, soft landing, soft landing. And then you see people on Twitter, it's like, yeah, it's going to be 25 basis points. Like, bro, what JP's doing right now, it is working, right? Things are going in the right direction. For him to let up right now just wouldn't make sense. Like, I'm going to call it. I'm going to say he's going to do 50 basis points across the whole year. How the market reacts to that, that'll be seen. But he's not bringing it down, right? Like, just look at the SPX. It is ready to rip down. It's ready. Like, it on whatever time frame you see it, or wherever, it's about to hit resistance. And if we've learned anything from like the insider traders, that's when it's gonna just pull down. Like, it's not a soft landing, dude. These guys are idiots.
I wasn't too far off the predictions of just wiping out all of this, like from here to here, and that's kind of when the money printing started following COVID.
Yeah.
So like the artificial inflation of prices makes sense to like.
Does.
It's not far off, to be honest. But I still think like that mean reversion to 200 has always been a good point to play, like across history, like even if you look back 16, 17, it's always been a good time to buy. That's like really quite strong back tested data. I mean, down here it obviously wasn't, but don't know what happened there.
Just zoom in on that point of resistance there, Grant, on the SPX. Just go to the right and just on the diagonal. So I mean, today would be the day that it could possibly hit that point of resistance and go straight back down again, which would buy very much into your thesis of a weekend of blood, guts, and no glory.
It's Friday, man. Friday is like notorious for profit taking, especially in TradFi. If you've had like 5 days of green and like you've gone from like, I don't know, whatever the numbers are, like you're going to take profits, because I know they've been like saying like, oh, the tax harvest over Christmas and everything, but in theory, like this is probably like one of the last times to tax harvest before actual taxes come in.
That'll have all been done prior to Christmas.
Yeah.
NASDAQ doesn't look too great either. So that's.
But couldn't you argue that there's a general upward movement here? I mean, obviously the trend's still very much down, but I mean, we've seen 2 weeks of essentially green candle here, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Like, what's Ethereum looking like? It's Coinbase. Bitstamp.
And there's the one chart that nobody looks at
Why
anymore.
am I
It's
got
the HSI, which is the Hong Kong index.
Hong Kong, yeah. I think I've got that done. I think you got me onto it.
Yeah.
Why do you like the Hong Kong index so much, Dan?
Because when you actually look at like the global markets, you've got Australia opens first, then it's Asia, comes into Europe, comes into the UK, and then goes into America. And you find that sentiment in China can sometimes have a massive knock-on effect to what happens in America and vice versa. You also can't fade that China is obviously one of the biggest markets out there. So to ignore it just doesn't make sense. And what you probably see on the chart now is they had like a wicked V-shaped recovery. Look at that. And now the fact that China is a reopening play, like as an actual reopening play, it only makes sense that this gets pushed up higher. And what I hope, I hope for the love of God that like Hong Kong sorts itself out, because it was once a beautiful place. If Hong Kong starts to really sort itself out and you start to see businesses actually go back there, because it's one of the financial hubs of Asia, right? If you see the big businesses go back there, you'll see the HSI absolutely moonshoot back up.
Are a lot of people not just moving to Singapore though?
Yeah, and what was it? What's the one? Shenzhen, which is just over the border. So the I won't go into too much depth because obviously don't want to get my hands cut off. But but Shenzhen, they're trying to make that to be like one of the big new financial hubs of Asia, and that's literally just right over the border. So it seems like they've crushed Hong Kong to then make Shenzhen one of the new leading financial hubs, which makes sense because they want to keep it in China.
I saw that Bitcoin long chart.
Yeah, do you want to have a look at that?
Yeah, just bring it up. I'm just curious to see how high. Yeah, that's huge. But guys, I mean, from a chart perspective right now, Bitcoin from a short looks like a good trade. Like from a TA perspective. Saw the guys were chatting about it. And it will be interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I was going to say it'll be interesting to see what the open interest is at the moment on BTC.
100%.
Why is it laid out like this?
No, that's a total. So I can't really see the numbers there. So it's 28.96 short, and the other 30% is obviously long. $51.48. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's quite hot, isn't it? I mean, there's a couple of positions I've got that I like, and I don't want to really take them off. So, and like what we were saying, which you'll see on Monday with the interview with Ansem, there was things that played out towards the last relief bounce going into the merge, where you didn't necessarily have to sell your assets if you wanted to kind of play them into the merge. But what you could do, we all know Bitcoin drags the rest of the market down with it. So instead of actually taking off, you can actually hedge your strong performing alts with a short on Bitcoin if you think it's getting a bit frothy. So you can actually kind of hedge away some of that risk by doing that as well. So if we do draw back down, your alts kind of suffer, but you're making money on the Bitcoin short side. And it does look hot. That's like 55% aggregate. That's quite high, All that takes is like trapped longs there, and then whoa, what's just happened there?
Yeah, what happened there? We saw it go from 54 to 53. 51 from 54 to 51. What the hell?
Quick, go ahead. Somebody's getting wrecked.
Actually, if you drill down like 24 hours, it's not. We're still net long. Binance 51%. So it's not ridiculous. But the hourly is net short. 4 hour net short.
The daily looks like it wants to roll over as well, because you've had some of that liquidity up at 19.2, come back down to 18.8. And like if you use Bollinger Bands, Jesus Christ, it is like so far extended, it's mental.
So I know that we're coming to the top of the hour, and we wanted to keep the show at 30 minutes today. I just wanted to potentially close it out with, obviously whether this green is going to continue. Grant seems to think that it probably will, based on the fact that he's 100% deployed his stable coins and all sorts of
I have no bias whatsoever.
no bias whatsoever. Dan thinks it's going to be red. I would really love to see Bitcoin break this point of resistance today on open with TradFi. Obviously, you know that SPX, the S&P 500 is probably going to bounce off that resistance point, but I reckon we're going to break through. I'm going to be a bull for a change. I haven't been bullish in ages.
Sell it all. Sell it all.
I've just loved
Sell it.
seeing it do its thing, even though I've been sidelined. I honestly don't have any positions at the moment. I've just been too busy. You guys have been keeping me too busy. I blame you for not losing more money. So thanks for that, guys.
Pleasure, man.
And yeah, so let's see. We'll obviously see you guys next week. Newsletter was cool, fun this week.
Yeah, newsletters, both of them were fucking sick this week. Keep an eye out for Monday, episode 100 with Ansem. And just 2 final asks. Please, if you could subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on Spotify, because we do distribute there, you can kind of follow that and leave a 5-star review if you fancy it. And then also Substack, the newsletter link is below. If you head over to there, we're going to be running some really fun incentive programs starting from next week. Kind of referral incentive programs with some quite hilarious merch. So it's all for free. Don't really have to do anything. Just subscribe, and that'll help us all out very, very much. So yeah, enjoy the weekend.
So Grant, are we giving stuff away? Are we going to be giving stuff away? Is that what you said?
Mate, we're giving loads of stuff away.
We're going to be giving a load of shit away. Really, some
Cool.
funny shit.
Jedi feet pics.
I'm in, dude. I'm going to have to pretend to be somebody else and enter.
But only for newsletter subs.
But you guys
It's
have
all in
seen
the
my
description.
feet already, so I'm not going to be able to get away with that one. So,
Mate, I slept next to you for a week. I've seen everything.
dude, that did not come out very well. On that note, take care, everyone.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Like and subscribe.